Thanks for joining us for a brief summary of our audit of the education of Aboriginal students in the BC public school system. But first, a little about us. As the non-partisan independent auditor of the Legislative Assembly, the Auditor General audits the government reporting entity. This consists of ministries, crown corporations, and other government organizations such as universities, colleges, school districts, health authorities, and similar organizations that are controlled by or accountable to the provincial government. We look at both finances and performance. Back to our audit. This graphic from page 7 of the report summarizes some of the report highlights. Aboriginal students account for just over 11% of all public school students, and their enrollment generates more than $500 million in annual funding for school boards from the Ministry of Education. In 2014, 62% of Aboriginal students graduated as intended. This was a great improvement from only 49% in 2005, but it is still lower than the non-Aboriginal student graduation rate of 86%. Welcoming and supportive learning environments are key elements of student success. Within its mandate, the Ministry can do more to ensure safe, supportive, and culturally relevant learning environments. Improving the education system will increase Aboriginal graduation rates so these students can have better life chances and contribute to BC's economy and society. There is a wide and historically persistent gap in graduation rates between Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people in Canada. In BC, gaps include lower scores in provincial assessments for reading, writing, and numeracy, higher rates of special needs designations, and lower graduation rates. Researchers agree that the best way to improve Aboriginal people's lives is through improving education. In 2005, the Aboriginal student graduation rate was 49%, compared with 82% for non-Aboriginal students. As a result, the provincial government committed to work with First Nations to close the education gaps between Aboriginal and other students by 2015. Since then, outcomes for Aboriginal students have improved, but more can be done. In certain school districts and for certain groups of students, significant gaps remain. For example, in 10 school districts, less than 50% of Aboriginal students graduated in 2014. As well, First Nations students who live on reserve but attend provincial public school and Aboriginal children living in care also have notably lower graduation rates. Let's look at some of our findings. Following the Ministry's 2005 announcement to close the gap, the Ministry did not develop a shared system-wide strategy with input from boards, superintendents, and Aboriginal leaders and communities. A collaborative strategy would focus the system on a common goal and allow the Ministry to follow up if expectations are not met. Educators, administrators, and decision-makers need to know what is working to inform change. For decades, the Ministry has monitored student data, trends, and results, and shared this information with boards and the public. Although the Ministry has a wealth of valuable information it shares with the boards, the Ministry does a limited analysis of the data. Greater analysis of the information would provide a greater understanding of why Aboriginal students have had poorer outcomes in some contexts. Through its leadership, the Ministry can do more to support public school systems where learning environments are safe, supportive, and culturally relevant, and school districts have the capacity to use the wealth of data available to inform strategies for Aboriginal students. We made 11 recommendations to the Ministry of Education. To implement the recommendations, the Ministry will need ongoing collaboration with boards of education, superintendents, and Aboriginal leadership and communities. Our recommendations include developing a system-wide strategy to close the gaps, supporting partners to implement the strategy, evaluating policies for Aboriginal education, addressing obstacles to support learning environments, building district capacity to use the data to inform decisions, and strengthening accountability for results within Ministry and direct district reporting. This concludes our summary of this report. To read this report and our other publications, or for more information about our office, please visit our website at www.bcauditor.com.